Hello and welcome to Glasgow George Square on the 28th of August. It's 16 degrees, it's very rainy, hence why I have a brolly. Join me in a little walk, try not to get my feet wet. We're going to go down to Merchant City, which is probably the nicest place if you're in Glasgow and you fancy a pint and something to eat. Merchant City and the Glasgow city centre is probably your best bet. Hutchesons Hall Street, which we were yesterday, if you check out yesterday's video, not the best place to go if you're with your wife or your husband or even your friend and you want to relax. Merchant City is where it's at. A little bit more expensive, but it's much nicer environment, much safer environment as well. But so let's take a little walk down. Obviously George Square here, we have got Queen Street right ahead of us. We have the Counting House, which is a big Wetherspoons pub, which is just over there. The drink is very cheap in there, so for example it's £3 a pint in there. Where we're going to go, it's about £6.50, sometimes more per pint. But is it worth it? If you're only having a few, definitely. If you're just out to get steaming drunk, then head to the Counting House, head to your generic Wetherspoons pub, where they'll be playing no music, but you'll hear the sound of 150 voices to make you think you're going schizophrenic. So join me in this little walk. I hope it's not too rainy. If I get any water on the lens, I'll try and clean you off. Pardon the expression, but yeah, let's head along this way and we're going to swing a right, which will take us directly into Merchant City, where the merchants 250 years ago, Merchant City was formed, where your tobacconists, your fruitmongers and various different stalls and traders, merchants essentially, would occupy their place to trade goods for cash. Don't die in the process of crossing the road. At least I'll document my own death, which is part of this channel, I suppose. Let's hope that documentation happens at a later date. So there's some fantastic old buildings in Glasgow. There's not as many as there is in Edinburgh, because Glasgow City Council has a history of demolishing buildings, leaving them to the point where plants start to take root in the brickwork, and then the roots displace the bricks, and then through health and safety they then get the green light to destroy listed buildings. It's a tragedy when you look at some of the architecture around. Oh sorry, I've got a close-up of a penis there, that's probably not best. That's permanent banned on YouTube there. So the Italian Centre, no surprise, it's all Italian clothes and Italian food. It's pretty decent, but to be honest it's overrated. It's just another commercial, retail unit. Katie's bar, probably about £6.50 a drink. There's an amazing cocktail bar. See this here, this Hutchesons Hall. It used to be an old hospital in the 1800s, 1802 this building was built, as you can see there on the window. But inside here, when you go in here, this is an absolute safe haven. Look inside there, you can see the atmosphere already. You can see the candles in the bar, the cocktail bar there. Absolutely amazing. Me and my friend went in there once. It was bustling in Glasgow city centre. A Saturday night, you couldn't get a seat. There was people bumping in everywhere. The floors were sticky with alcohol, it had been spilled. And we came down here and we went in, we walked in. All of a sudden, look at that, you're in a beautiful candlelit area. You had your own seat, a nice glass of red wine to warm your cockles on a November evening it was. It was his birthday and it was fantastic. And it's not that much more expensive considering you get to sit down, you get music, you don't have any threat of violence, or you can have a conversation. So it was most definitely worth it. So Hutchesons Hall's right there, which is just off Merchant City, just off George Square. Again, cross this road without dying. Oh, don't die. Sorry for the camera shaking. I'm trying to shift my little ass across that road. So yeah, some more beautiful architecture in the main city centre of Glasgow. Cutting down here, now we're entering the Merchant City, which is under development constantly as they're trying out new things. The turnover for restaurants and bars is quite high. A restaurant maybe lasts 2 years max, and then somebody else comes in and gives it a shot. Their hopes and dreams, hoping and dreaming that they'll be one that survives. Got a lovely tailor's here. It's a little bit like a kind of Kingsman style, Savile Row style, Walker Slater. So if you had the money to buy a lovely suit, It's not myself. Maybe smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe one day I will be able to. We can go in here and get a suit fitted. Yeah, nice little tartan number. You know, people sit outside, even now we're moving into autumn, 16 degrees and rainy. It's not my thing to sit in the rain, cold and drink. I want to sit in the sunshine on a beach or a beautiful sun trap in a beer garden. That's more my thing. If you're a little bit stressed after work, there's a Jasmine Thai massage here. I don't know if they do a happy ending, but I think it's £25 an hour, so that's pretty unhappy as an ending. So yeah, smash that like button. Maybe I'll get a massage. So to the right, we have one of the kind of most prestigious parts of Merchant City. This in here, I think it's called Citation. Yep, Citation. So you get a lot of wedding kind of after parties take place in here. There's some kind of low-level successful footballers and such like, they would drink in there because the drinks and the cocktails are very expensive and they're pretty much bog standard average. But the thing that really swings it is that they have a rooftop terrace. Well, it's not really a rooftop, it's right up there. You can see the heaters. Don't know if you can see the heaters up there, but yeah, they've got a rooftop style kind of Roman pillars. You know, you get the reliefs, the carvings. So it's a little bit nicer up there, but the alcohol and your food will be extortionate. And it is very much a kind of cocktail bar dress style and various kind of outlays. So moving up now, we're moving into a big rainbow flag on the ground that was recently put in. Some people approved, some people disapproved. I am neither nor. Yeah. What we have here is the Irish pubs. You move up to Merchant City, you get O'Neill's and Drouthies, your generic Irish pubs, which, to be quite honest, I'm not really a big fan of. It's bog standard food, average Guinness, and it's everything. They all look the same. It's wood and leather, fake leather, and they all smell the same, look the same, and it's the same kind of. You'll have your football fans that go on it when there's a Celtic game on, and you know, Celtic fans go in the Irish pubs and Rangers fans go in the other ones. It's just your usual take a side. So yeah, I don't support any team, I support myself. Look at this beautiful stencil on the wall of a beautiful couple embracing. You see that up there on the building, the white wall? Not exactly Banksy, a bit more wanksy, but it's definitely good. So you get an Irish bar right down there. Very, very dark and gloomy inside. Big screen TVs though. You have, what's this, Bar Sanop? I'm trying not to get run over here. This is a new place, it's just opened. It doesn't look too busy, but we are on a Wednesday evening, so it won't be. I will need to try that at some point, maybe do a little review, see what it's like for a lunchtime menu for a pizza. What's their prices? 12-inch pizza, £10.90. £13.90 for a mushroom pizza. Not too bad. So that's quite handy. You get pizza to go for your lunch. So the tap yard in there, food menu, burgers. What we got? KFC, Korean fried cauliflower, £7. Now you're okay. Thank you. So Blackfriars over there, that's a fantastic bar. At least it was before the pandemic. It closed and then it reopened, and it's now sponsored by Beavertown, which kind of mixed signals and mixed feelings about that. Beavertown make nice ales, but too expensive for what it is, and the price of alcohol in there is, it's not really acceptable for the fact that most of the time you can't even get a seat. And here we have O'Neill's. As I say, very large, generic pub. It'll show your rugbies and footballs, absolutely heaving on a Friday and Saturday night. And it's fine, you know, meeting people up. You want to shout in each other's ears, that's fine, but it's not exactly my idea of enjoyment. So what we'll do is we'll go in here now. The picture quality is really going to suffer as I walk in here because the lighting's terrible, but let's go in just so we can have a little look. Turn this brolly down, hold on. Oh, right, brolly down. Right. Let's just have a little look in here. Oh, it's nice and warm. So yeah, a nice little place to get out for the rain and a little heat. You get bar soba there, which I would avoid. Bar soba, when I went in, it wasn't that one, it was a different one. It was in the West End and it was terrible. The burger I ordered, it came in like a pagoda, which should have been a warning sign to begin with, which meant that the burger had steamed itself, so the bun was soggy. The burger tasted burnt, and it was like £30 for 2 cheeseburgers. So yeah, a nice little place. That's a good place. Metropolitan, that's a good place for cocktails. The atmosphere in the place is probably the main winning point, that you can actually go in and sit in peace. And you know yourself, that is a huge advantage, that you can actually sit down in a place, particularly in winter, and not have people barging past you and any kind of having to keep an eye in the back of your head. You can just relax with a friend or a partner and have a few drinks. And if you're paying a bit more, at least you get to relax. So this is what it's like inside the part of Merchant City. Good place to come if it's raining or the winter. But in here will be hard to get a seat on a Friday or Saturday night, absolutely. So we'll go back out and we'll start moving our way towards the remainder of the Merchant City here. So there's not a lot realistically here, but if you come here, the drink is more expensive, but you can sit down more, and there's much less chance of, you know, incidents occurring and conflicts with people. Sucky Hall Street, like in the video from yesterday, is where you get most of the fights, most of the arguing and most of the trouble. So you pay for what you get. Oh, there's some water on the lens, excuse me. I'll rub your face a little bit there. There you go, Daddy loves you. Right, don't get run over here. So let's head up this way. So Cafe Gandolfi, which is another little Italian place. Decent place as well, more traditional, less kind of generic and more like less wholesale than your Tony Macaronis. There's a bar home, that is a bit more generic, your average cocktails, your average pizzas, your average burgers. Still okay, lunch and a drink £6. Well actually I might come in there tomorrow. Is that Monday, Friday until 7 PM? Sorry, 4 PM? From £6. I'll need to go in there actually. Anyway, sorry. Remember, you're making a video, you're not just planning your lunch for tomorrow. So yeah. Also, you'll see the chefs a lot of the time outside here smoking on their lunch break, and I think Gordon Ramsay says any chef that smokes probably wouldn't be able to taste their food and see if it's decent. So as we're approaching the end of Merchant City, this is where people would come up to get their taxis at the end of the night. After a good skinful, you've got the BBC Scottish Symphony Orchestra City Hall's a place I always want to go in. I want to go in there, get tickets for myself and my son. The acoustics is supposed to be pretty good in there. BBC will record CDs and various things in there. So the last place I'll show you is this little alley down here, where there's a little gem of a pub. It's very hard to get seats in when it's busy though, but they have an open fire, an open log fire. So in the winter you can go in there, and if you can get a seat, get a brandy or a whiskey, and then just sit by the fire, read your paper, or scroll on Twitter or X and further radicalise yourself for whatever side you're taking. There's a Blackfriars Court garage, no parking, and there's loads of parking, of course. But yeah, lots of little alleys in Glasgow which we'll start to explore in the days and weeks to come. But this is here, Babbitty Bowster, that's what it's called, yeah. In there, it's got an open fire. And what's the prices? So, macaroni and cheese, £14.25. A burger is £14.25. Bangers and mash, £14.95. So pretty much standard. A cocktail is £10. That's a bit steep. £10 per cocktail. That's a bit steep, but yeah. You can hear there's an actual violinist. Oh wow, actual orchestra playing in there. That's amazing. Yeah, wow. As you can see, that's on a Tuesday night. This is people just gathering. Oh, beer garden there. Yeah. Wow. So you can see, that's a lovely little place. If you can make it just off of Trongate, or just Trongate The clock tower is just over there. We just came from Merchant City, which is there, and George Square, which is just up that way. So Babity, Bowster, fantastic little place. So thank you very much for joining me in this little walk, and I'll see you tomorrow.